sorry to do the second video. I seem to have forgotten there was part C. But anyway, the frequency of the oscillator connected to string D down here is changed so that the string vibrates in its second harmonic. That is weird. We'll come back to that in just a second. On the side view of D below, mark and label the points of the string that have the greatest average speed. This is something you'd probably want to use a pencil on. These marks, they're evenly spaced. That means you're probably gonna need to be like neat about it. Don't forget the label part either, that's super important. Just to go back real quick to what I did in the last video, remember I couldn't decide if this was open or fixed. Just would depend on how great that mass is, if it were small enough to move up and down when the oscillator was on, or if it was heavy enough to make the string act like it's fixed on this side. Well, since they said second harmonic, that means it's going to act like fixed because you can't have the second harmonic and fixed open. It's the oddball. So you only have odd harmonics there because they're opposite. Anyway, so now we know for sure that this is fixed. So that would be a node there, and this would be a node here. Now remember, actually let me just go back here, that this is half of a wavelength. That's your first harmonic. That's what the fundamental frequency creates. So I like to visualize these in closed tube. It's just easier for me to draw. So if your fundamental, so first harmonic, notice how I'm not really writing this under here. This is all just off in the margins, so it wouldn't necessarily be counted as my answer. So your first harmonic is where length would equal half a wavelength. Now since I have the second harmonic, I'd have 1/2 plus 1/2, which is 1 whole. So that means I'd have a whole wavelength. So something like that, going from node, and then this would reflect back. Okay, I need to draw something like that over here, but I need to be way neater about it. Okay, let me point out there's 12 little lines, so this node's probably going to need to be about at line 6. I've put just a little mark at line 6 right there before I draw my wave. Again, do this in pencil. Not the world's greatest wave. I've tried to keep my amplitude similar, but that looks like it's close enough. Okay, I might write L equals lambda. Let me just cross that out just in case. Cross this out so they don't grade it. For my second harmonic, L equals lambda. And I would have a node in the middle. It's very messy, but if I draw the nodes big enough, it's all good. Remember, node is where there's like node movement, node sound. I'm going to label these nodes. I don't know if I have to, but it seems useful. So that means my greatest speed is going to be at my antinode, which is at the highest point. And if you can't already tell, since we're looking for vertical, average vertical speed, that's going to be where it's furthest away from. It's just middle here. So that would be, I would just mark here, and 1, 2, 3, here. And I'm going to underline greatest average vertical speed. And I will draw arrows, because I don't want to have to write that with the mouse. So that would be full credit. Sorry about the 2 videos.